Hey, Hope City. It is time for our nightly dose of hope and encouragement. This past Sunday was Easter Sunday and Resurrection Sunday, and our sermon series is called "This Changes Everything." And I think we all could agree that the resurrection of Jesus changed everything, because there's leaders and patriarchs of the Bible that died, and that was it; they were done. But because Jesus was raised from the dead, it changed the dynamics of everything. It changed how resurrection life is now alive and in us. It changed how we see, not only how we see ourselves, but how we see God and how we see how God sees us. And it literally changed the universe. It changed everything. So tonight I want to talk a little bit more about this word, Tetelestai. And it's a word that has so much meaning. And I said this Sunday, but Charles Spurgeon, if you don't know who it is, you can Google it, find out. But he's a father of the faith a long time ago. But he said, in the word Tetelestai, we have an ocean of meaning in a drop of language. And with that one word, there's so many different things that it says. In fact, I put in the comments up there the description of tonight's 7 at 7. It's one of the terms is the sacrifice is complete. So in terms of Hebrews, when the sacrifice was complete, that meant their sins were covered over for another year. So that means they were guilt-free, shame-free, they were covered, they were taken care of. But how many of you know that that sin and the shame and the guilt came back because they had to keep doing these sacrifices? But when Jesus died, the only sacrifice that we need is Jesus, and he did it once for all mankind, for all time, for all sin. And it was the perfect sacrifice, the perfect, blameless, spotless lamb that was slain before time. Another definition is that it means the debt has been paid in full. So to the Greeks, who John wrote this down, he was writing more to the Greek people. It said it meant that it was, for example, if I did a job for you and you owed me money for that job, and so we settled our account, and you paid me, and so the debt now has been settled. I would write on the bottom of that invoice or the bottom of that document, Tetelestai, means that the debt that you owed me has now been paid in full. There's no more debt owed. So think about that Jesus paid everything, all of our debt that we had, Jesus paid for through the cross and through his resurrection. So it means the sacrifice is complete. It means our debt is paid. And to the Romans, I talked about this. You can watch our service from this past Sunday to really get a little bit more definition of this. But to the Roman soldiers nearby, it meant that victory has been won to the point that the enemy cannot come back from that. So it meant victory. So when you're looking at Jesus on the cross, beaten beyond recognition, he didn't even look like a man. He had no skin left on his back, no flesh. He probably hardly had any muscle left on his back from the cat of nine tails that was used 39 times on him. So that's 9 times 39 hit with and nailed to the cross. Thorns crammed down onto his head. You had all these things take place, and you see this figure, this person, didn't look like a person, but this person on the cross yelling loudly to Tetelestai. Victory has been accomplished, to the point that there is no possible way for the enemy to come back from this. That's amazing. That is amazing. And so in the Mirror Bible, he has in some of his commentary, it says the only possible way we can delay the glory that follows the cross is by underestimating what happened there when Jesus died and cried, "It is finished." There is no one's guess or definition that carries more weight than God's final word that he spoke to us in sonship. and the one who bears the very stamp of his nature and radiates the Father's being. The one seated upon the throne of mankind's redeemed innocence is Jesus, the one that cried out, "It is finished." He says we can afford to make Jesus' words on the cross, "It is finished," our complete and final focus. I think that's so important to know that we can make "it is finished" our focus. Because I think too many times we look at what's not finished in our life and make that our focus rather than look at what Jesus did completely and make that our focus. And if we get so caught up in the things of this world, we get so caught up in the things that we're fighting or dealing with or whatever is coming against us, we see these things happen and we think, man, Jesus, it must not be enough. Well, I'm telling you, Jesus is enough, and what he did was enough, and what he did on the cross is finished. It's complete. So live in that completeness, live in that finished mindset. That's why it talks about in Hebrews that we can enter into his rest. He did all this so that we can live in his rest because we know it is finished. The debt has been paid. The sacrifice is complete. Victory is ours. So with that, hopefully you got something out of tonight. If you didn't, then listen to it again. But listen to our Sunday service. Check it out on HopeCityEVV.com. You can download our app. There's a lot of great resources on there. But I just want to say thank you all for joining. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.